Hello and welcome to another LowPolyLevi video. I know it's been a while since the last upload and I'm sorry. So I wanted to make up for that with a great video. You see, one of the first consoles that comes to mind when I think video game is the Nintendo Wii. Many great games on this thing, but the one that takes the cake for the best, in my opinion, has to be Super Mario Galaxy. This is actually one of the first games I ever played, so there is going to be a little bit of nostalgic bias when it comes to a review. But I'll try not let nostalgia blind any issues the game might actually have. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Or, I guess you could say, let's spin into it. Unsurprisingly, the big bad Bowser stole Princess Peach. But I wouldn't bring you here if that was it, now would I? So, Bowser actually used a UFO to bring the entirety of Peach's castle into space. Mario was on the steps of the castle as it rose into the sky, but before Mario could get to the princess and save her, Kamek swoops in and knocks Mario out into space. We soon find our portly plumber woken up by a star child called the Luma. The Luma and his friends then transform into bunnies and task Mario to play hide and seek with them. When he eventually finds them, they realize that maybe Mario can help their mama. They then lead you to a now iconic character, Rosalina, whose name is based on Rosetta, which is a complex type of orbit. She then gives you the main gimmick of the game, the spin, because apparently Mario didn't know how to spin around. You then use this to save Peach, yada yada, boom, Bowser dead. But there's even more. As you progress and get more stars, you can go to the library, where you and the Lumas can listen to a story about a girl who seems to be Rosalina. Basically, it tells a very sad origin story of Rosalina. It starts with the girl finding a baby Luma, and they're both looking for their mothers. So they go into space! Then it's revealed that the girl's mother is actually deceased. It's a really sad moment, but the Lumas then say not to be sad as they are her new family. It's really cute, and it makes for a good side story. Also, there's a surprising amount of lore in this little story. This all makes Mario Galaxy, at least in my opinion, the best ever Mario game when it comes to story.
Bruh.
Now introducing Super Mario Galaxy, where Mario can explore the galaxy. And he can jump, and now he knows how to spin, because he's in the star thing he's called Starbit. Oh, that jumping, he's rich at Starbit now. He's, okay, cut! Like most post-NES/SNES Mario games, this game isn't really that hard. It's not nearly as easy as Super Mario 3D World, but it's not as hard as SMB2 from Japan. Instead of being small Mario, then getting a mushroom to get an extra hit point, and then possibly getting a third hit point by getting a fire flower or raccoon suit, you're always just big Mario with 3 hit points. But there are also power-ups from time to time. First is the iconic fire flower, then the now recognizable ice flower. After those, though, there's the stranger side of the original power-ups. First is the cloud flower, where if you spin while in midair, you can summon a cloud platform, which makes platforming super duper easy. Next, the bee mushroom, which lets you buzz and fly around for a little bit. Next is the boo mushroom, which turns Mario into a boo. After this is the controversial one, the spring mushroom. It lets Mario jump super high, but the controls are wonky. In my opinion, all these power-ups are super cool. All these O's, except the spring, are very easy to control and makes the levels with them pretty easy. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely difficult levels and challenges, but the majority of the game is pretty easy. But compared to the other 3D Mario games, I feel as though this game handles its difficulty the best out of any 3D Mario game ever. Though everybody likes to make fun of the Wii for its weaker hardware, this game and plenty of other games still look fairly nice. Mario Galaxy is vibrant, colorful, runs at a smooth frame rate, has some very detailed textures, and has very smooth and well-shaped models. Probably some of the cleanest Mario models in history. I like this version of Mario because he isn't so smoothly colored that he looks like a toy like the Mario 3D World Mario model, but also doesn't have the uncanny realism of the Super Mario Odyssey model. Just a good balance, in my opinion. Overall, this game just looks nice. Also, the high resolution port on Switch as part of the 3D All-Stars makes the game look passable as a modern day Mario game. It's crazy that a 15-year-old game can look this good. The music in this game, as per the norm of every mainline Mario game, is phenomenal. There's catchy tunes, somber tunes, calming tunes, and so much more. Also, the Common Observatory theme is just iconic at this point. The soundtrack also helps show that the video game music is real music. Because, if you didn't know, there are people who dismiss this fact. Crazy, huh? The only problem I really have with this music is that sometimes the music is just too good. Like, honestly, man, this game was also the first ever Mario game to have an orchestrated soundtrack. It shows, too. It's so much better than any Mario game that came before it. Don't get me wrong, all Mario games have great soundtracks, but an actual orchestra can do wonders for a Mario game. So, when you're talking about levels, you have to talk about the hub world. The hub world in this game is the Comet Observatory, mentioned earlier, which is honestly a really good hub world. Almost all levels are accessed by these small domes, each serving a specific home-like purpose. It honestly kind of feels like what a strange future space home might be. Alright, I know it's rude to assume, but I can bet you want to hear about the actual levels. I can't mention all of them, but I picked three that I feel best represent this game. First is Honey Hive Galaxy. It's one of those more realistic stages, and it actually feels like a livable place. Most areas in Mario games feel so bizarre that all you can wonder is how someone might live there. What would you eat? Where is your shelter? Stuff like that. In this level, there's trees, honey, people, plants, and other things. It's still a little bizarre, but not too shabby. Next is Toy Time Galaxy. This is definitely a very bizarre land. Basically, you hop across different planetoids and toy-like things. I've always kind of liked the whole you're tiny in a normal-sized place in games, and this doesn't disappoint. Finally is Sweet Sweet Galaxy. This level is also kind of bizarre, but still nice. Basically, it's a level where everything is made out of candy, and there's a lot of conveyor belts and things like that. It's also very unique, but kind of falls flat, as it's on the pretty short side, with only one star. Honestly, all the levels in this game are great, and so are the bosses. Super Mario Galaxy is an amazingly designed game with great story, pretty well and balanced difficulty, surprisingly amazing graphics, phenomenal music, and well thought out levels and bosses. It really makes me want Super Mario Galaxy 3 sometime soon. I'll never get that. Also, I've been thinking about a scoring system, and the one I came up with last review was pretty dumb. So I thought of a new one. I feel as though 1 through 5 is not large enough, and 1 through 10 is too large. So I decided to do a 1 through 8, because it's just large enough. Given that, I feel as though it's obvious that Super Mario Galaxy is deserving of a perfect 8 out of 8. Not a surprise, I'm sure, but with all that said, I think it's time to say goodbye. And always remember to stay retro. Hey y'all, thanks for watching the end of the video.